Deciding to come to Hanover can be the biggest decision of a student's life, but at Hanover, new students aren't alone. Coming up, we'll meet one of the upperclassmen who helped lead the way to a successful start at Hanover. Deciding to come to Hanover can be the biggest decision of a student's life, but at Hanover, new students are not alone. Coming up, we'll meet one of the upperclassmen who helped lead the way to a successful start at Hanover. Welcome to HC Student Spotlight, where each episode we learn more about a student organization and what's going on here at Hanover College. I'm your host, Allison Craig. A student's first week at college can be stressful. Fortunately, Hanover has a program that pairs upperclassmen with new students to make it the transition to college life a smooth one. Today we will talk with a junior who is a peer advisor. I'm here with Rudy Udy. Welcome to the show, Rudy.
Thank you.
Coming to college is very exciting because you're finally out on your own, but I also remember being a little nervous when my parents drove away and I was just sitting on the quad with my peer advisor and my group. So when students first come, what are they first nervous about?
Usually it's about making friends and being afraid of not being able to meet new people because you've been in high school with these kids since grade school, and so you've known them for 10 years or so, and now all of a sudden you're going into this new environment where you don't know anyone at all, and it's just that's probably the biggest thing for most freshmen coming in.
Right. That's understandable, but I feel like everyone at Hanover is so welcoming and friendly that most people's nerves wear off after the first couple days, and then excitement sets in. So what is everyone so excited about at first?
I mean, there are just so many things. Hanover's campus, coming onto it, like if you go on Scenic Drive, is just so beautiful. You have the point. All these kids have these same mutual feelings of being nervous and not really knowing anybody. So right. Usually you'll meet your roommate, and you'll meet your peer advisor, you'll meet your group, and there are just so many things that can come into it and that people can be excited about when they come to Hanover for the first time.
Right. They're excited about freedom, they're nervous about the new challenges at the same time, but what role do you play as a peer advisor leading them on the right path?
Basically, I am just this type of transition figure in between the professors and the staff and then the actual students. Mm-hmm. So I'm a higher authority member, but at the same time I can be a friend. So I'm somebody that you can go to for help if you're nervous, or if you need to talk to a professor but don't know how to say a certain thing, then I can try to communicate with them. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So you're the middleman, kind of.
Basically, yes.
Yeah. I know peer advisors are upperclassmen who are chosen to lead groups of students during the first week of school, which is called August Experience. And you guys have to come back a couple weeks before everyone else. But what do you do during those first couple weeks?
Well, I mean, we only meet our other peer advisors maybe once or twice during the school year before, and then we'll come back a week early. And basically, we go through a bunch of training exercises when we're presented with a certain situation, like if a certain student is missing their parents or if they're not adjusting to college work as quickly as others.
Right.
So we do certain things like that, but we also have a lot of bonding with our fellow PAs. For example, one thing that we do is a high ropes course, and I don't know exactly where it is, but we go off campus as a group, and it's basically to teach you things like how to work with others and encouraging. It's a 50-foot structure that you have to climb across and make it across, and one person will be on it and the rest of the group will be on the ground encouraging them, telling them that they can do it, because most people are afraid of heights. And so it basically teaches us that you can encourage them and show them that they can do it even if they don't think they can or they don't want to.
So it's team building activities, basically, and there's also some training for the job, you said.
Yes.
It seems more kind of like having fun than training, but I guess when you like your job, like training's fun too.
Yeah, Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah. How did you decide what groups to do with, or what activities to do with your PA group?
Well, when I was a freshman, Moana, honestly don't know, Cadell, don't know her name exactly, but Moana was my peer advisor, and she did this game called Bunny Buddy Took Took, and basically, like, you go around a circle and you're doing all these actions, but I basically took everything that she taught us, and I basically used those games. And then as a group, Katie Lowe Schneider and Ashley Clifford, they also teach us some games in case we don't know any. But basically, whatever the ones that we enjoy doing are the ones that we decide on that we actually do with the group of our choice.
So it's kind of just like craziness but fun, and you're just like trying to get everyone less nervous and things like that. But what is the craziest thing that's ever happened to you when you've been a peer advisor?
The craziest thing? I don't really know. We do this thing called the line game, and basically all the peer advisors say, they'll say something, and then if it falls into the category for that freshman, they cross the line in the gym. One of them was cross the line if you think your peer advisor is attractive, and two of my advisees crossed the line. So
we played that game when I came, and the biggest one I remember was cross the line if you pee in the shower or whatever. And like all the peer advisors did it, and all the students are like, what do we do? You know, that was funny. But like we talked about earlier, some students are a little nervous when they first come to Hanover, but what made you feel like you wanted to become a peer advisor and help those students out?
Well, personally, my biggest thing was definitely making friends. I was afraid that I was going to be all alone all the way through my college career, and I don't know what it was. I don't know what happened, but basically I fell in love with this place, and I fell in love with all the people, and some of the people that transferred, I think, are missing out on this great experience going to like a bigger school or just a different school in general. And I wanted to make sure that every student who comes here, or every freshman, can stay here and experience the things that I've experienced and meet the people that I've met. And just go through all that.
I agree that you know, having those experience makes you a great candidate to be a peer advisor. But what all are you involved in on campus other than being a peer advisor?
Well, too much. This year I didn't play baseball. I played baseball my past 2 years, and now I'm a part of the campus activities board. We do organize homecoming and events like Your Story, which is in the shoebox. I'm a student blogger. I help write a blog to freshmen every week potential students who are coming in every week. I work in the communication and marketing department. I make YouTube videos for them. I am also in sports information. I keep the stats for the baseball games now. So basically what I did sitting bench last year, I now get paid for this year. And there are a couple other things I just can't think off the top of my head.
I have seen some of your YouTube videos, how to prepare for college and things like that. Those are pretty cool. But that's quite a bit to be involved in, and but I have class with you, so I know somehow you're still a good student. And about how many hours does being a peer advisor take up of your time?
Well, now that it's the second semester, most of my advisees have settled in, and most other freshmen have settled in, so they don't really need me as much.
Right.
Possibly this semester, maybe 1-2 hours a week. Last semester, probably close to 3 to 5, depending on if they had a paper or something. Papers was a big thing.
Right.
Most freshmen have trouble writing papers, but it's mostly during August experience and during the training weeks, and those first couple weeks, it's
just
exhausting.
a transition period. Since you're involved in so much on campus, and I know that you've been rehired to be a peer advisor for next year, how do you feel like those leadership roles have helped you for after Hanover?
Oh, for after Hanover, well, I actually want to go into something called Student Affairs, go to grad school for Student Affairs, and my bosses, Katie and Ashley and Cortland, they presented that to me. I didn't even know Student Affairs existed because I love being a PA,
right.
And that's really what I want to be, what I would want to be for the rest of my life, basically. But basically, I've learned being a leader, a motivator, someone that's approachable, a social, like, I don't want to say social butterfly, but somebody that is an authority figure, but at the same time a friend.
Right.
That someone can go to, and I feel like for the future that's a good quality to have for whatever job that I may go into.
Right. I also feel like Hanover has given me leadership experience that I can take, and do with whatever I want to do later. But what advice do you have for underclassmen on how to survive at Hanover?
Basically, time management. Really, time management. I mean, you're going to be, all these things are going to be thrown at you with all these opportunities to join clubs, activities, and you'll have homework all to do with it. And basically, if you can learn to find time for friends, learn to find time to do your homework and study for tests, then that you'll be fine.
Right. For students who feel like they enjoyed their August experience and they might want to be a PA someday, what advice would you have for them?
Definitely think about that first feeling you got on campus when your parents drove away and you're finally on your own, and that mixture of being nervous and excited and having anxiety all in one. Remember how you feel and how you wanted somebody to make you feel at home, and if you want to be a PA, to make sure the new freshmen have that same feeling of getting away from that anxiety feeling.
So it's mostly about, like, you have to remember why you actually want to be a PA, not for the glitz and glamour.
Yes.
You've given great advice for underclassmen and why being a peer advisor has been a great experience for you, but has there been any part of it that hasn't been that great of an experience or has been negative?
I mean, not really, honestly. Probably the worst thing is during training week, we literally get up at 7, well, I get up at 7 o'clock, we go eat, and then we are doing something from 8 a.m. until 8 or 9 p.m. all the time, back to back to back, and barely any time for breaks in between. So really it's just the training week and students who seem to have a harder time adjusting, giving extra time to them and showing them extra attention, trying to get them to feel more. I feel like those are the two things, the only two like sort of negative things about being a PA.
Okay. It sounds like the advisor, which is you, is learning just as much as the advisees. And what is the most important lesson that you've learned from being a peer advisor?
I guess basically whoever you are or whatever your background is, like, you accept everybody. That's a really big thing. Everybody just wants to be accepted. And some people have a harder time adjusting to new situations, and you just gotta think that everybody's got a different situation that they're going through, and that they all need to feel accepted at some point.
Right.
So.
It sounds like being a peer advisor is more than just an on-campus job to you, and I thank you for sharing your experiences and about the ropes course and August experience and what all that you've learned personally and decided that what you want to do after Hanover. And I really appreciate you taking time out of your busy schedule to come on the show today. And thank you for coming, Rudy.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for watching this episode of Student Spotlight with peer advisor Rudy Udi. Be sure to tune in next time. I'm your host, Allison Craig.